Angela Monte and myself have been working for the last 6 months in terms of getting this new initiative from the Institute of Electrical Engineering, Aerospace Electronic Systems. It's called the Distributed Sensing Technology and Education Initiative Project. And this was for all of Region 9, so all the Caribbean and all of South America could write proposals, and you're going to see today the start of 2 of those very important proposals. This is the top level. It explains what we're trying to do. It's a 3-year initiative for underrepresented regions. What underrepresented means is the industry, not the universities, but the industry and the growth of students. We want them to be able to transition from a student to a young professional and a full-time member of the Institute of Electrical Engineering. It's 3 years for this region. The goal is that we will have new businesses that can support commercial growth in your areas, and in this particular for both Peru and Colombia. We want to increase the Aerospace Electronic Systems Society membership. It's been very interesting or very important to be able to join a society early in your career. I started in the Institute of Electrical Engineering when I was only 21. It's been a long time that I've been in the society, and it's certainly helped my ability to learn and adapt to the technology. So that's what we're trying to do here. We're providing courses of engineering growth in regional aerospace. We want both Peru and Colombia and the rest of Region 9 to be able to develop aerospace engineering tools that can grow into businesses and very good for both the universities and for the industry of your regions to be able to start businesses that can operate over your whole career. We expect for this initiative to grow technical capabilities, not just teaching you how to do science, but also be able to do systems engineering, be able to do the ability to transition technologies as they vary around the world. So what we're focusing on this particular activity, you'll see from the picture up here of the quadcopter, we're looking for drones that can be used and fly in a particular region. We have 2 very interesting projects that we're going to be working on. We want cybersecurity. So we want these drones to be able to fly and somebody can capture them for malicious intent. Everybody knows about the drones that are flying near airports that will cause problems for the passengers. And we want distributed sensing for future commercial applications within, in particular for our society, geoscience and border security. So you'll see some of that as we go through the discussion today. We're hoping that for all of you, all the student chapters in Region 9 can learn about the advantages of membership in Aerospace Electronic Systems Society. We would like to increase students, but also have industry that will transition them to young professionals in both Regions 9 and Region 10. You'll see on the next chart, we actually have selected 2 student branch chapters, 2 in Region 9, one in Peru, and 1 in Colombia, and 2 in India to carry out. And we want to encourage industry. So those of you that are familiar with your industry in your countries, we want you to attract and give information of what you're doing to your industry leaders so that they will be able to get money from the banks to start new projects. So that's the top level in terms of what we're trying to do on this initiative. The emphasis is education for the student branch chapters. And so what we're doing is we're going to be developing some systems engineering approaches for these branch chapters, which we will teach to help you learn some of the tools that are needed for being able to start projects and also manage those projects to successful ends. As I've said a couple times and will continue to say, is we really want to attract new members into aerospace electronic systems and measure from the start to leverage from the IEEE and AESS leaders the technology that we're going to be passing over to you. We're providing funding for project materials and region and section collaboration. So there will be funding to have chapter events that you can bring together other chapters and understand what you're doing for the two student branch chapters that are working right now, so that information is spread across the Region 8 or the Region 9 area. Our Board of Governors, and Lorenzo and I are members of the Board of Governors. The Board of Governors have a very broad area of technical interest. And so what we're trying to do is to get those distinguished lectures or tutorials for this distributed sensing systems. It means you're going to fly more than one aerospace system at a time, how you do navigation in a particular area, how you take the sensors off of the platforms and fuse that data together so that you can see it from mobile aspects. This is very important in terms of the two projects that we're funding here that helps you for health and safety in your particular areas. And then, as I said, system design and test. We hope that your chapter meetings will be virtual and in person both. We expect to come back down to Region 9 to participate in your design reviews. We'll do it virtually in terms of bringing other distinguished lectures down for you to be able to understand where the technologies are that we've developed within Aerospace Electronic Systems Society over the last 10 or 15 years. And each of these projects starts with grant funding, and I can say that yesterday I was given the input that both of the two chapter student chapter fundings, one in Peru and one in Colombia, have had the money deposited in the banks for your sections, so you can start immediately. So this is what we call is a kickoff. And so by coming to the 3 universities here in Bogota, you'll be able to see not just the work that these two students chapters are doing in South America, but what we're trying to do for this whole project between Regions 9 and Region 10. So that really the activity for this first year is to be able to do projects at the student level. During the 3 years, we're hoping that the students will go from being an undergraduate into graduate school, maybe even into industry. And this approach has been agreed to and encouraged by the Region 9 and Region 10 directors. So it's got a very strong political and technical backing. So what we're trying to do is do education for the student branch chapters in terms of writing proposals, and also in terms of doing program review techniques so that you can become good engineers when you go after you've completed your education process. Why are we doing this, and what has AES been doing at least for the last 4 years? So we've had a very strong activity working with Region 9 and Region 10 in terms of growth of student branch chapters, and also in terms of developing leaders. We have a member of our Board of Governors who is from Brazil, who is very strong. We have Giovanna here who has been working with us in terms of setting up this project. So we have very strong leaders from an AESS standpoint in your region. We've seen 15% growth in all three of the regions, Regions 8, Region 9, and Region 10. So what we've seen, particularly in Region 9, is over the last 2 years, we've had about a 15% growth. We are really hoping that we can get to the point where we're developing new members of Aerospace Electronic Systems Society in the student area by 20% per year as we go forward. What we also want to do, not just while you're students, but also as you transition to be young professionals and be able to help create or sustain aerospace new businesses. I'll give you where we are right now. Is we had 30 proposals, we had 30 requests for proposals that we sent out last November. We received 12 very good proposals from student branch chapters between South America and India, and we have selected 2 from Region 9, University of Cauca in Cauca, Colombia, which is doing drone swarm systems for agricultural surveillance of coffee crops, which has got a very strong economic and capability in their region. And Camilo Segura is the student branch, and Dr. Alyssa Campo is the champ leader. They're here. You raise your hand and show us